Good morning, students. We have completed exercise 5.4 from chapter 5 quadrilaterals. So today we are going to do first midpoint theorem and then sums from 5.4. So first one, the theorem we are going to do is theorem of midpoints of two sides of a triangle. Okay, let's see what is the statement. The segment joining midpoints of any two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and half of it. Okay, so you can see a triangle we have taken ABC. Okay, according to statement, segment joining midpoints. So P and Q are midpoints. Segment joining midpoints of two sides. Okay, that is with segment PQ. Okay, is parallel to the third side. That means this is what we are going to prove. PQ is parallel to BC. Okay, and half of it means PQ is half of BC. So this is what we want to prove. PQ parallel to BC and PQ is half of BC. Okay, now we have constructed something here. Okay, that is we have written construction, produce segment PQ up to R. So produce means you have to extend this line segment, okay, such that PQ is equal to QR. So we have constructed in such a way that PQ and QR, they are equal. Is it clear? So now let's see how we are going to prove. Let's select triangle AQP and triangle CQR, these two triangles. Okay, let's find out what are the things that you have congruent in these two triangles. First of all, PQ is congruent to QR. Okay, so you'll write PQ is congruent to QR. Now you have to give reason for this. So what is the reason behind this? It is because of construction. We have constructed in such a way. So you will write here construction. Okay, so you will give reason here. Then AQ is congruent to QC. This is given to us. So you will write here given, because it is already given that Q is midpoint of AC. Then AQP, that is this angle AQP, okay, is congruent to CQR, that is this angle CQR. So what is the reason? They are vertically opposite angles. So you will write here vertically opposite angles. Okay, so vertically opposite angles. In short, you can also write VOA. So now you have two sides and one included angle. So triangle is congruent by which test? By SAS test. So you will write here reason SAS test. Okay, now so when you prove that these two triangles are congruent, that means their corresponding sides and angles are also congruent. So let's see what we have here. We have PAQ congruent to RCQ. These two angles are congruent. You have to write here reason CACT, corresponding angle of congruent triangle. Okay, similarly AP is congruent to CR. Okay, so you will write here reason CSCT, because triangles are congruent, so their corresponding angles and sides are also congruent. So now from 1, okay, that is this one, if angles are congruent, PAQ and RCQ. Okay, so you can write here line AB is parallel to line CR. Why? We can write this. Now see here, this angle is congruent to this one, isn't it? So AB is parallel to RC by alternate angle test. So write here reason alternate angle test. Okay, so you proved here that AB is parallel to RC. So if AB is parallel, so that means you can also write AP congruent to CR from 2 So line is parallel and opposite side is congruent also. So if opposite sides are parallel and congruent, you can write here AP is congruent to PB, PB is congruent to CR. So hence PB and CR are also congruent. So quadrilateral PBCR is a parallelogram. Okay, why? Because opposite sides are congruent and parallel. So any quadrilateral where opposite sides are congruent and parallel, you can call it as parallelogram. Okay, so if it is a parallelogram, hence it is proved that PQ is parallel to BC. Okay, so PR is equal to BC. PQ is half of PR. So why PR is equal to BC? You can write here opposite sides of parallelogram. Okay, we'll write here, this reason has to be written here, opposite sides of parallelogram. PQ is half of PR. Okay, that is construction. No? We have already constructed PQ is equal to QR, so you can write here, this is construction. Okay, and then in place of PR you can write BC, because PR equals to BC is already given. Okay, we have already proved PR is equal to BC, so you can write PQ is half of BC. So we got the both statements, PQ parallel to BC and PQ is half of BC. Okay, so just watch the video and note down the theorem. In exam you don't require to write the statement, but you have to write the given data to prove construction. You have to draw correct figure. This is very important, to draw the correct figure, and then you can write the proof. Okay, statements with reason. Now students, we will start practice at 5.5. Let's see problem number 1. You can see here in problem number 1 we have triangle ABC. Okay, in this triangle, point X is midpoint of AB, Y is midpoint of BC, and Z is midpoint of AC. This is given to us. Okay, along with that, what is given? AB is 5 centimeter. Okay, AC is 9 centimeter, and BC is 11 centimeter. Using this data, we have to find X, Y, YZ and XZ. That means all sides of this triangle. Okay, so because X, Y, Z are midpoints, so we can use here midpoint theorems. You'll write here points X, Y, Z are midpoints of AB, BC and AC. Okay, therefore using midpoint theorem. Okay, so using midpoint theorem, we can write here XY is half of AC. XY is equal to half of AC, because segment joining midpoints of any two side is half of the third side. This is what we have proved just now. Okay, so XY is half of AC. AC is already given to me, 9 centimeter. So put that value here, half of 9. So when you divide 9 by 2, you will get 4.5 centimeters. You get here XY one side. So similarly, because already you have written using midpoint theorem, so you can move ahead. YZ is equal to half of, what is the opposite side to this? AB, that is third side, half of AB. You can write here half of AB. What is AB? 5 centimeter. So divide 5 by 2. It is going to be 2.5 centimeter. So you get XY and YZ. Now what is remaining? One more side is remaining, XZ. So you can write here XZ is equal to half of the side which is opposite to that is BC, and BC is already given to us. Length of BC is 11 centimeter. Again divide 11 by 2. So you get here 2 5s are 10, decimal point increase, 2 5s are 10. So you get 5.5 centimeter. Okay. So if you want, you can write your answer at the end together, all three sides. XY is equal to 4.5 centimeter. Okay. YZ equals to 2.5 centimeter and XZ equals to 5.5 centimeter. This is what we were asked to find, all three sides of the triangle XYZ. Is it clear? Now we will see problem number 3 of practice set 5.5. So in figure, triangle ABC is an equilateral triangle. Points F, D, E are midpoints of the sides AB, BC and AC respectively. So we have to show that triangle FED is an equilateral triangle. Okay. So after writing given and to prove from question itself, now let's write the proof. Statement and reason. So first statement we will write here is triangle ABC is an equilateral triangle. From where you have got this? Given data. So write the reason given. So equilateral triangle means all sides are equal. So AB equals to BC equals to AC. Let this be statement number 1. Points F, D, E are midpoints of sides AB, BC and AC. This is given data to us, right? So whenever it is given to you, you write there given data. Okay, now what is the next point? Using midpoint theorem, they all have the same reason. Midpoint theorem, you can write FD is half of AC, D is half of AB and FE is half of BC, isn't it? See, F and D are midpoints, so FD is half of AC, that is third side, right? Similarly, D is half of AB, okay, and FE is half of BC. So this is what we have written in statement number 2, 3 and 4. So from 1, if AB, BC and AC are equal, so we can write that half of AB, half of BC and half of AC are also equal. Okay, multiplying throughout by half. Okay, now you have written that half of AB is D, so just replace it. Half of BC is FE, half of AC is FD. So that means from 2, 3 and 4, all three sides of triangle FED are equal. So if all three sides are equal, triangle FED is an equilateral triangle, hence proved. Is it clear? So you can see once again this sum. You will draw the figure, given data from question itself you can write what is to be proved. If construction is required, you will write. Here we don't require any construction, so you can start writing proof, statement and reason. Okay. Even if you don't draw this line, it's okay. You can write statement and reason in this way. Okay. So students, from practice set 5.5, we have done problem number 1 and 3. Problem 2 and 4 are omitted from this exercise, so you will have to do only 2 sums. Now let's see some examples from practice set 5. We will see second sum. Adjacent sides of a rectangle are 7 and 24 centimeter. Find the length of its diagonal. So let's draw a rectangle, name it ABCD. So adjacent sides are 7 and 24. Find diagonal AC. So you know that triangle ABC is an right angle triangle. So using Pythagoras theorem, I can write here AB square plus BC square is equal to AC square. That is to be found. Okay, so in place of AB I'll write 7, in place of BC I'll write 24. Now I have made an activity sheet here. Calculation part I have left for you. Okay, so you have to square these numbers, add, you will get a number, then find square root of that number. Okay, that will be your answer. So calculation part I have left for you. Okay, all of you will try this sum on your own. Now let's see third one. It is exactly similar question. but figure is different. Here you have square. If diagonal of a square is 13 centimeter, then find its sides. So sides of squares are equal. We have assumed that PQRS is a square. Name you have to assume. Length of diagonal PR is 13. Again using Pythagoras theorem, PQ square plus QR square is equal to PR square. This is Pythagoras theorem because PR is hypotenuse. But you can write PQ and Q are equal because all sides of square are equal, isn't it? So that means PQ and QR, they are equal. So in place of QR I have written PQ. So PQ square plus PQ square becomes 2PQ square. 13 square is 169. We will take this 2 here. Square is written, so take square root. So square root of 169 is 13 and that of 2 is root 2. Normally we don't write square root in the denominator, so rationalize this denominator by multiplying by root 2 in both numerator and denominator. So root 2 multiplied by root 2 is 2. So 13 divided by 2 is 6.5. So you can write PQ is 6.5 root 2 centimeter. This is side of the square. Okay. Let's see foursome of problem set 5. Ratio of two adjacent sides of a parallelogram is 3:4 and its perimeter is 112. Find the length of its each side. So we have taken parallelogram ABCD. Okay. Ratio of adjacent side is given to me 3:4. So let's assume that common multiple be x. So 3x and 4x is going to be the adjacent side. Now you know that opposite sides are congruent. So AB is equal to DC, that is 3x, and BC is equal to AD, that is 4x. Reason? Opposite sides are congruent. Okay, now perimeter of any closed figure is sum of all sides, right? So perimeter of quadrilateral is going to be sum of all four sides, AB plus BC plus CD plus AD. Put all the values. 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4, total is 14. So perimeter is already given to me, 112. So x is equal to 112 upon 14. 14 8s are 112. Okay, so now you know value of x. So you can put here for 3x and 4x, you get 3 8s are 24, 4 8s are 32. So if adjacent sides are 24 and 32, that means remaining sides are also 24 and 32. So you can write your answer like this. Each side of parallelogram are 24, 32, 24 and 32 centimeter. So students, we have done 3 sums from problem set 5, 2, 3 and 4. For you, homework is, that is assignment, problem set 5, problem number 1, that is MCQ. All sums you have to do. Okay, and then problem number 5 and 6. Okay, so up to 6 we have kept for syllabus. After 6 all the sums are omitted. So you have all the sums from 1 to 6 from problem set 5 also. Okay, in that I have done problem number 2, 3 and 4. I am giving you 3 sums as homework, problem 1, 5 and 6. Okay, you all will try these sums. If you are not getting, you can ask me when we will meet in Zoom class. Okay, thank you students. So we have completed today chapter 5 quadrilaterals. Okay, bye everyone.